A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John, chapter 1, verses 6 to 8 and 19 to 28. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. There once was a man, his name John, sent by God to point out the way to the life light. He came to show everyone where to look, who to believe in. John was not himself the light. He was there to show the way to the light. When Jews from Jerusalem sent a group of priests and officials to ask John who he was completely honest. He didn't evade the question. He told the plain truth. I am not the Messiah. They pressed him. Who then? Elijah? I am not. The prophet? No. Exasperated, they said, Who then? We need an answer for those who send us. Tell us something, anything about yourself. I am thunder in the desert. Make the road straight for God. I am doing what the prophet Isaiah preached. Those who sent to question him were from the Pharisee party. Now they had a question of their own. If you are neither the Messiah, nor Elijah, nor the prophet, why do you baptize? John answered, I only baptize using water. A person you don't recognize has taken his stand in your midst. He comes after me, but he is not in second place to me. I am not even worthy to hold his coat for him. These conversations took place in Bethany on the other side of the Jordan, where John was baptizing at the time. The Gospel of the Lord. Reflections on the Gospel according to John chapter 1 verses 6 to 8 and 19 to 28. Today the church celebrates the Gaudete Sunday or Rejoice Sunday, making the midpoint of the season of Advent. The Latin term Gaudete stands for rejoice. Halfway through the Advent, the church calls us to rejoice always and be prepared because the Lord's coming is imminent. The Word of God calls on us for immediate preparations. How do we prepare for welcoming the Lord who comes to this world? John the Baptizer was also asked a similar question. When in the desert he spoke of conversion, those who came to hear him wanted to verify with him his identity. Who are you? John knew perfectly well that his mission was to point to the one who was to come. Hence, he identified himself as a mere voice in the desert and refuses to give even his own name. A voice has only a momentary existence. It vanishes after giving out the message. The message remains and not the voice. In effect, John was saying, do not break your head on my identity. Rather, pay attention to the message. John invited everyone to raise their eyes, to cleanse their gaze, to be able to see on the horizon the one who was coming to liberate them. His call is precisely to cleanse one's eyes, to see if there is a need for conversion, to change one's life and thus to prepare one's heart to welcome the one who has to come. The first two readings repeat the theme of joy. We are asked to rejoice, to live joyfully and in peace. Being joyful is an essential characteristic of our preparation for receiving the Lord. Justice, brotherhood, compassion, and joy must characterize the Christian community and the church itself. Our message is a message of hope, of God's salvation for all. And that's what we need to tell all the people. Care should be taken not to place ourselves at the center of our parish, community, or area of ministry, but to facilitate the encounter with the Lord who comes into our lives. From this season of Advent on, can we resolve to make every sign of injustice and hatred disappear from our lives? We commit ourselves to life and for life against all the unjust deaths. Let us reflect. What does it mean to be fair in our daily lives? What can we share with others? Does our community live in the joy of waiting? Do I know how to communicate the joy of hope to those who live with me?